Hey, it's Haplin, and in this module, I'm going to share a little bit more with you about social media planning. Now, there's a lot of really cool things you can do with social media management inside of High Level, but I want to show you just some of the really cool things that relate to sort of the lead generation efforts we've been talking about in the rest of this play. So first, let me just show you what it looks like really quick over in the marketing tab. We have this whole social planner where you just link up your Meta account, your Instagram, your Facebook, your Google Business profile, your TikTok, your LinkedIn, and a couple of other platforms, etc. And you can manage and schedule all of your posts from inside of here. In fact, we have an entire calendar in here. So to whatever extent is appropriate, you can war game your entire social media strategy. And if we go over to settings, we can see all of the different types of profiles you can link up, including High Level's own internal communities. There's an entire communities feature that we're not going to go super in depth with, but that's super interesting. I recommend you check that out as well. We also have the ability to create categories. So if you're a nutrition expert and you do tips and then you do client testimonials and you do a couple other types of posts, you can categorize them to make sure that you are hitting your different categories with regularity, spreading them out, posting certain types of content on certain days, seeing analytics based on category, right? So there's a lot going on here. I won't go too deep in depth. Of course, as always, there is a help doc article linked beneath this video that will tell you a lot more if you're interested in getting into some of these details. But suffice it to say, there is a lot of cool stuff happening just in the social planner itself. You can schedule a single post to go out on multiple platforms at once, just a lot of ways to really take control over your social media strategy. But beyond just that, there is a lead generation element to this whole social planner mechanism that I'll show you right now. So just for example, if we go to automation, we can create a workflow that incorporates elements of social media into the automation of High Level. For example, the trigger comments. We can, on Facebook or Instagram, trigger a workflow based on somebody commenting on a post. Furthermore, and this is one of the very common use cases, I can do an exact match. So if I say something like, yes, please, now I can trigger a workflow specifically when somebody comments the keyword, yes, please. So what can we do action-wise in a workflow like this? Well, we can send a message via the interactive messenger. So if I look up the Facebook interactive messenger action, I can do reply to comment via DM. So now when somebody comments the keyword on my post, this workflow will automate the sending of message to their DMs. So now going back upstream to my social planner strategy, I can have posts that have call to actions in them. Reply with this keyword if you want a certain free so-and-so. People who see the post comment, and now my workflow automates a conversation with them in the social platform. But it actually gets even better than that. You may have heard this mentioned in a previous video. We can actually integrate those messengers into conversations inside of High Level. So just to show you a quick example of what that looks like here in my conversation, I actually have a conversation that if you didn't know any better, it might look like SMS or email or a normal channel, but this is actually Facebook Messenger. And if I respond here, it's going to respond in the Facebook Messenger DM that is connected to the business page that's integrated with High Level. So you've got posts, you've got automation, you've got conversational follow-up, and a way to then convert somebody into perhaps getting a phone number and an email to really generate the lead, get them into your list, get them into your reactivation schedule, and overall just integrate your social media profiles into the rest of your lead gen strategy. This obviously syncs really well with using AI to generate content and AI to manage the conversation. So all the AI stuff really folds in really beautifully. Overall, there is a lot going on here. This video has just barely scraped the surface of some of these features, but whether you're using High Level for your own business or perhaps for clients or perhaps both, this can be a very, very powerful tool to have in your arsenal. So click the link below to discover more about social media planning inside of High Level. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and move on.
Your properties.